In addition to the previously discussed mechanics, there is one final form of time manipulation to discuss. That is the usage of the construct known as the arena. This mechanism, however, operates on different principles than most of the aforementioned temporal manipulations, and so discussion of it has been reserved until now. However, the usage of the arena may be the most applicable to you as agents of timepiece. Unlike with insertions to the past or other temporal manipulations, the creation and usage of the arena does not require direct oversight or assistance from iterant point. An arena can be created merely by using any standard issue time gauge. Each time gauge will feature a button or crown on the middle right side. When first pressed, an arena will be deployed. If it is pressed again while an arena is active, the arena will reset. If the central crown is pulled, and all other time gauges in the arena do the same, the arena is collapsed. An arena is a small area which is briefly separated from a timeline. The size of an arena is determined by the time gauges through a process that we do not yet understand. By default, arenas are spherical areas. However, if inside a hallway, a room, or a series of rooms, arenas may shape themselves in whole or in part based on the walls around them. If at any point the boundaries of an arena are crossed, the arena collapses and all within are returned to the timeline as normal. The unique property of the arena is the ability to reset time within it. At any point, if a middle crown or button on a time gauge is pressed, everyone and everything inside returns to the state they were in when the arena first dropped. This includes resetting any injuries, including death. Each of these iterations is considered hypothetical until the arena is collapsed. They are entirely separate from the events of the timeline and are even separate from the absolute present. These iterations are often described as drafts of the events. This is because once the arena is broken or collapsed, the events within as they are played out in the last iteration become the actual events of the timeline. For example, imagine there is a timeless and an observer at a basketball court. The timeless activates an arena, and when it drops, the observer is left on the outside of the arena. Inside, the timeless takes a shot, and if he misses, he resets the arena and tries again. He does this 3 times before getting the ball in the hoop. When he does, he collapses the arena. However, the observer only saw him take 1 shot, which landed in the hoop. This is because the first 3 iterations, the ones where he missed, were hypothetical. They were not synced with the timeline. The 4th was. Therefore, it is the final version, not a draft. They become the true events which happened from the perspective of the timeline. This remains true whether the arena was collapsed with a time gauge or broken when something passes through the boundary. An arena may also be broken from the outside. In the example from before, if the observer was running towards the timeless, he could also break the arena. Let us assume that the observer will cross the boundary of the arena after 3 seconds. Inside the arena, the timeless may make as many shots and resets as he wants, so long as none of them are 3 seconds long. Let's say his first 2 attempts take only 2 seconds, but his third takes 4. After 3 seconds on his third iteration, the observer breaks through the arena, which collapses, and the timeless has missed his shot. Note, too, that arenas can only be established in relatively stable conditions. Areas which are subject to large-scale outside interference cannot establish an arena. For example, if timeless are in a train yard with trains going through constantly, the constant violations of any potential arena's boundaries makes establishing an arena impossible. The exact nature of what constitutes significant interference is unclear. However, the general rule of thumb is that physical objects will always break arenas. Air movement, generally, will not, unless it is particularly fierce, one that noticeably moves objects in the area, for instance. Again, due to a lack of understanding in how time gauges create arenas, a precise threshold of interference cannot be reliably determined. Arenas may be reset by anyone within them. Thus, if two enemy timeless engage in a duel within an arena, either combatant may cause a reset, even if only one activated the arena. However, all surviving timeless must act in unison to deactivate the arena. Most time gauges come equipped with the safety feature where an arena will automatically deploy when in close proximity to Anarakian time gauges. This gives most operatives an increased chance of survival. However, this feature can be deactivated when necessary, for instance, when surreptitiously following an enemy agent. Please note that every moment an arena is active, power is being used from your time gauge. A time gauge without power cannot activate, reset, or maintain an arena. If faced with an opponent who still has a charge in their time gauge, they will be able to reset an arena at will. Therefore, agents should use the arena sparingly. Additionally, multiple resets, particularly for prolonged periods of time, can have detrimental effects on the mental health of operatives. The arena can also be manipulated for two additional advantages. First, by connecting a time gauge to an arcane tech electro-pulse gun, a stun weapon is created. The time gauge creates a modified arena between the gun and the target. The gun fires an electro-pulse designed to incapacitate, but not kill, the target. The first shot uses an estimated power level. The weapon reads the results, resets the arena, and modifies its shot accordingly. The power is lowered if the shot is lethal, or raises it if it was not debilitating. The weapon creates as many resets as necessary to find the right power level to incapacitate the target in question. Then it accepts the final iteration. Second, using similar principles, a more powerful weapon can be created with a crystal ray. Delta-grade time gauges come equipped with a crystal power emitter. When this is arranged into a weapon configuration, a palm-held weapon is created. The crystal ray is capable of emitting incredible levels of destructive power. However, the constraints on its construction result in it being highly unreliable. Most attempts to fire it will result in failure, little more than a spark. When combined with the effects of an arena, however, this is not an issue. The time gauge will simply reset as many times as necessary until the crystal ray fires at the desired power level. While both the crystal ray and the stun setting on an ATEP weapon are useful, they have one major limitation. Neither may be safely used within a pre-existing arena. Arenas cannot be created within other arenas. Therefore, the attempt to use the stun setting on an ATEP weapon or to fire the crystal ray will result in the entire arena being reset hundreds or thousands of times until the correct setting is found. As previously noted, this is detrimental to the mental health of all involved. For this reason, ATEP weapons have a safety mechanism which automatically disables their stun feature when a standard arena drops. Attentive trainees will have noticed by now the importance placed on the consciousness of Timeless. It is critical when considering alterations to a timeline's past. It is also unique in its experience of the arena. Note that while the physical body of a Timeless will reset, their mind does not. If their mind had reset with everything else, they would simply repeat their actions from a previous iteration, as they would not recall the previous iteration and have no reason to change their behavior. In fact, non-timeless caught in an arena will do just that. They will be unaware of any resets in time and continuously repeat their actions unless the stimuli around them changes. This then begs the question, what is unique about the consciousness of the Timeless? It is certainly regarded with high priority by the Timegate network. It also may be independently stored within the network, backed up from our physical bodies. Unfortunately, we have no way of verifying this. It is also worth noting that one of the determining factors for a flashpoint is the effect it will have on the people of the world. The more people who are affected by a potential change, the more likely a given moment is to be a flashpoint. This may be simply a measure of how more matter behaves differently on a branched timeline, but it also may suggest a priority the time gates place on the human mind. If this is the case, they are the minds of non-timeless. It is possible that this is the result of some long-forgotten control mechanism, that it was to ensure that humans always controlled the time gates instead of the other way around. Unfortunately, we have not been able to verify or disprove this possibility. No doubt in the field you will face similar uncertainties. It is part of the regular course of affairs as an agent of timepiece that you will work with an incomplete picture. We all are forced to do so, but as an agent, you will make the best of it. Remember, operatives, you are a valuable resource in the fight against Anarachia. Protect yourselves, support your team, and stay vigilant.